Good morning, this is Joe Smith. Are you guys ready for some news? This is good news. Well, mostly, with Joe Smith. Got a large variety of stories to run through real quick for today from this past week here so far. Some good, some not quite so good. So yeah, South Park is putting their shows up for a bid for streaming services to bid on. People or companies are speculating that the contract could go for upwards of $500 million. Although Apple has announced that they're withdrawing their intentions to try and acquire South Park to add to the Apple streaming services after South Park's recent episodes banned in China. And their 300th episode in which they're kind of making fun of Apple a little bit and Apple's friends in China. Good people in China, though. Joe Smith's got some friends there. But South Park is claiming that Apple, NBA, and Disney and other companies are kind of selling out to Chinese censors, and South Park, as we all know, for the last 20 years, doesn't exactly believe in censorship. See, Qantas Airlines have flown non-stop Sydney to New York, possibly be adding on a new route there, so that way you fly New York, Sydney, Sydney, New York non-stop. About a 20-hour flight. You can catch up on your YouTube videos and your newspaper articles and your napping on a flight like that. Previous flights went from like New York to LA to Sydney, or New York to Honolulu to Sydney, or New York to London to Sydney or something or other like that. But now, and at least this one flight, but possibly more here in the future, you can fly directly from New York to Sydney and back, non-stop. See, Japan is planning on adding some F-35B fighter jets to their helicopter carriers to patrol the waters around Japan there. Other airplane news, Gulfstream has come up with a G700. It's going to be, or is now, the largest private plane, jet, whatever, that you can buy. And it can be yours too for only $75 million. If you order today, they might throw in a pillow for free. Here within the past couple weeks, a woman claims, and it was captured on video, that a McDonald's employee in Cincinnati, Ohio, threw a blender at the customer after this customer lady complained about her food. It's like, come on, people. You want to get paid higher minimum wage, you gotta quit throwing blenders at people just because they complain. And the company is, Joe Smith forgot to write down the name of the company, but they're coming up with air taxi. They got some new planes they're developing. They're supposed to be low cost and cheap to operate, to where they can provide short air trips between like small regional airports and that. So that'd be interesting to see. Maybe sooner or later down the road we'll get some flying cars. Some bad news though. Bald eagle was found in Wisconsin, and test results show that it had 4 times the lid amount that the bald eagle can handle. In fact, it could barely even lift up his head. It's so bad, and it ended up dying within a couple of days of being found. They think it may have ate a deer carcass or fish or something that was where the deer carcass either had bullets or pellets in it from guns, or the fish had like some tackle or lure or sinker or something in it. So those of you that are like out there hunting, make sure you pack out whatever you kill or that, and if you throw a fish back, or make sure you get all the fishing tackle out of it and all that. But the Bird Scooter Company, one of them scooter companies that dump thousands of scooters around town in hopes that people rent them. Well, they've announced they've lost $300 million this year, and they're citing that they're having to replace scooters too often or spend too much money on repairs. They're saying the scooters are only lasting about 5 months before they require major overhaul or repairs or replacement even, as a lot of the people that are using them are abusing them and throwing them around, and they get left out wherever, run over, and they're in the rain and the snow and whatnot. So it might need to look into having like little charging stations set up with like a little rooftop over it, but then that's going to require even more infrastructure spending, and maybe they just need to forget about that type of business to begin with. That's just Joe Smith's opinion. Lawrence, New Jersey, 2 17-year-old boys have been arrested and charged with urinating on a 7th grade girl while hurling racial slurs at her. Come on, people. Back in Joe Smith's day, if a kid done that, their parents would about beat them to death. The parents would be in jail for damn near murdering the kid after the kid done some stupid thing like that. Like back in the day, Joe Smith could get his butt whooped just for not being home by curfew. Now kids are out doing crap like this. Like, parents, do something about your damn kids, or quit having them. That reminds Joe Smith of another little story he saw on the internet. This lady, is telling people and to pay attention to what your kids are doing. In fact, it said that if you have white kids that are teenagers, or white boys that are teenagers, I guess the problem's not with girls, it's with white boys, white teenagers. This mom was saying, if you have white boy teenagers, then you need to be paying attention to what they're doing online on Facebook and social media and all that, because if you're not, the white supremacists and Nazis and stuff they're out recruiting these people. That's what probably happened here. Some white supremacist group on Facebook got a hold of these kids and got the kids to start believing bullcrap. See, politicians are ranting and raving about student debt again, or still. Um, 20 years ago, average student finishing college had $20,000 in student debt. 20 years ago, the government said something needed to be done about it. 20 years ago, the government said, well, maybe it should be unprivatized, taken out of the hands of the bankers and the greedy Wall Street, green bankers and all that, and let the government control it. Sounds like something AOC would suggest. So guess what? For the past 20 years, student loans have been in full control of the government. And now today, the average student has graduated with $37,000 in debt, almost double what they had 20 years ago. And people are still protesting. Something needs to be done about this. And the government is calling the banks up. Something needs to be done with this. The banks are replying, I don't know why you're calling me. You took student loans out of our hands 20 years ago. And it's actually true. John Stossel just posted a YouTube video yesterday talking about this. That maybe several members of Congress don't even realize that the banks no longer have control of student loans. That's all a government operation now. And many people don't realize it is. A lot of people are still saying the government needs to take control of it. Well, the government has had control of it for the last 20 years. It's only got worse. And a lot of these people or kids, they're going for like dumb stuff or easy stuff or whatever, like gender studies or art history or something, and it's like, where are you going to get a gender studies job at? At the same time, it shouldn't really be a government problem or issue in the first place. People just need to learn responsibilities. Save up when they're younger. Go start working at a younger age and save up. Instead buying the booze and the marijuana and the dope and the whatever. Instead doing all the partying. See, Essex, England, there's 39 bodies found in a truck container. It's like, oh no, that's not good. Hopefully they figure out whoever is behind that, and blessed the families of the bodies the people found. Condolences to them. Need to figure out how to do like wacko control. Everyone's talking about gun control. Let's start doing wacko control. Start eliminating the number of wackos that are running loose, peeing on kids and killing people. And Joel Smith's last story today, Carson's Exploring Channel just uploaded a video about replacing headlights on a Dodge. So Dodge pickup truck, I believe that is. So if you got a Dodge pickup truck, you might want to check out Carson's Exploring Channel to get some pointers or tips on you gotta replace headlights, and he's got some other cool videos too. So, but that's been the news with Joel Smith for today, October 23rd, 2019. It's TV week this week. I named that tune. Just named the TV show. Had Married with Children last night, and got another great one tonight, and a couple more this week. So hope you guys tune in for that. It's been the news with Joe Smith. Joe Smith signing out.